KUGAN, CASSIUS, IFL TV, MTK Global. I forgot where we are for a minute. The ice arena is freezing in Wales. Joined by Scott Cardle, who returned to action tonight with a win over Michael Mooney. Pleased with your performance?
Yeah, as pleased as I can be. Obviously, I've changed trainers, and I felt like I had to show that in my fight. I had to show a bit of a change. I feel like that was successful, so I'm happy in that way. But obviously, we've only spent 5-6 weeks together, so there's only so much you can do really. And I felt fit. My fitness was there, and obviously, I'm coming up against a tough kid like Mooney. I wasn't getting too erratic. I wasn't going in for the stoppage because I knew he'd be there for the duration. So I just had to think about new combinations and new movements that I've been learning in my new gym, and I feel like I did that. So I'm fairly happy. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of know what you're going to get with Michael Mooney, and I suppose getting those kind of rounds in isn't really going to harm you whatsoever.
Not at all. Well, obviously, I got a bit of stick leading up to this because of his record, but at the end of the day, I've got to do a lot. To be fair, obviously, I'm changing trainers. I've got to show that, and this feels like a debut in a way because obviously it's a new surrounding for me, and it's a good feeling. Like I feel good, and I'm glad I've come up against someone like Michael Mooney, an experienced kid that knows how to put me through the gears, and he did. He put me through the gears. I felt like I could have upped it an extra gear, but it's all learning, and that'll come next.
Let's talk about that trainer change situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've parted ways with Joe Gallagher, who you've been with from the start.
Yeah.
So, was this your decision, or was it a mutual thing?
Well, it was my decision to start off with. Joe's like family to me, and he still is. Very close with Joe, and what I've done with Joe, I'm very, very proud of, and I hope he's the same. But I feel like over the past 3 years, I think since I won that British title, I just got a bit complacent in myself. I was pretty much going to the gym for a crack with the boys and that, and it's one big family, and you can get into a bit of a comfort zone with that, and I felt like that's what I did. And I've known it for a while. I didn't want to leave Joe whatsoever. I didn't want to leave him because of how close we were, but I felt if I want to carry this on, I'm going into the second half of my career now. I've got to make some changes, and had a sit down with Joe, and I just told him what was on my mind, and he supported it. I don't think he was happy to see me go, but I keep in touch with Joe, and we're good pals, and I hope that carries on because I've spent so many times with Joe. Now I've moved over to where I started pretty much. I started with a man called Frank Ellis, who's Matthew's father, and Frank made me a champion to start off with in the amateurs, and he made me a different breed of fighter. And I felt like if I wanted to make a change, I've got to go back to my roots, and I feel obviously this is my debut under Matthew, and I'm proud of what I've done, and long may it continue.
Matthew, you used to fight cruiserweight?
Yeah, and heavyweight and cruiserweight.
And heavyweight.
Yeah.
Did you used to wear like really weird suits?
That's
is that
the man.
you?
That's the man.
Right, okay. Right, I know you are now.
James,
I know you are now. Sorry, when you said that name there. James Bond, yes.
James Bond. We gotta get that out.
Right,
We gotta
okay.
cut that off and put it in.
Okay. It's the hat that, yeah. I think when initially, like when there's a relationship between, like you've had with Joe, and you kind of part ways, people kind of assume, oh, there's been some sort of fallout.
Yeah.
But sometimes it isn't that, and in this case, it's just you needed a change.
Yeah.
You needed a change.
Like, don't get me wrong, you've seen it in the past, like people have fallen out in this sport and that, but no matter what happened, I could never fall out with Joe because what he's done for me as a professional. 7 years I spent at Gallagher's gym, and it was a great 7 years. I loved every minute of it. But like I said, going into the second half of my career, I've got to make some changes, and unfortunately I had to start with moving gyms, and hopefully this is where I'm going to end my career.
Obviously, no secret that it has been a difficult sort of period in the last 12 months for you, since obviously the Robbie Barrett fight and then more recent to the Lewis Ritson fight. So, you know, what's the plan for you to kind of get yourself back into the mix and back into the fold of everything?
Just start building now. I know where I am. I know, and to be fair, the way I'm like, people already know I'm very critical of myself, and so I'll know how low I am. You know what I mean? So I've got to raise my stock at the end of the day, and this is just the start of a good thing, I think. Back in the gym as soon as possible, and build for next time. Hopefully get out. I'd like to get a title fight as soon as, but obviously it's a hard one to call. If Eddie could sort that out, I'd be over the moon, and I'd be more than ready this time. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people said like I was given 2 weeks notice, and I was given 2 weeks notice, but for the Lewis Ritson fight, but I knew it was in the pipeline. I was in training. I just didn't have that engine on the night, and it showed. If I could have kept that engine like I did in the first, it could have been a different story, but that's looking into the past, and it's just one of those. I've got to build now. I've got to build my profile again. I've got to build my whole career, and I feel like obviously this is the start.
What is kind of the level that you look at now? Because you've done that British scene now, and is it something that you consider revisiting, or is it something that you think I've already done that in my career now? It's kind of looking at other things. What is it?
Well, obviously, like I said before, my stock's not the highest, so whatever I'm offered, I'm not a beggar. Like, I'm not gonna grab onto anything. Like, but if I'm offered a good fight, all I need is a bit of prestige. That's all I need. The money can fuck off. The money can go. I'm not bothered. I don't even know what I got for that fight there. You know what I mean? It's more than that now, and I think that was the problem in the past. The money came into it. It's a different game now. You know what I mean? I've got to make a name for myself. I've got to leave a name for myself. So whatever's given to me, Commonwealth, British, if we go up, it's one of those. You know what I mean? I've always wanted to win that British outright, so if I get the chance, I will do. I'll return back to a British title fight, and I'll be happy to. Then again, it's just options. If I'm given a good option, I'll take it, and I'll be ready for it this time.
All right. Well, listen, Scott. Thank you very much for giving us some of your time tonight. And if you're going to go back out there, put a jumper on.
I was talking some shit there, like, I was waffling a bit there, wasn't I?
You waffle anyway, Cardle. Yeah.
I always thought I was quite quiet.
Not as much as your old man.
Was that waffling a bit there? I was talking shit.
It's all right.
I was talking shit, wasn't I?
It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's good. Yeah. It's good. Good to see you back to winning ways. And listen, we'll catch up with you ahead of your next fight, whenever that may be.
I know.
All right.
Thank you.
Top man. Thank you very much.
You,
you too, mate.